Hey everybody, is copper another rocket we have called to produce a big move? Well, it looks like yes. Just remember, beginning of the year in January, we have called out copper as our #1 futures pick to produce a big move. This is not the first move we predicted and picked. We actually had gold 2 years ago that developed really well. We had silver last year, and then a bit later heating oil when just before the conflict started. Now copper looks very much like it's starting to move and develop momentum. We haven't seen that yet. Let's just have a look at the quarterly chart. Actually, we got our first very bullish entry signal just after the pandemic low in June 2020. In such a multi-bar pattern, there's a lot of energy stored, and it actually gets released once the consolidation high gets broken higher. So only now, 6 years later, we're actually about to release the energy in here. But it's not only this quarterly pattern. That's what it makes so interesting, and why we believe this will and can produce a big move for this year and the years ahead. So let's just move here to the monthly chart, and on the monthly chart we see that after this S1 quarterly pattern, we've got an S2 turtle pattern on the monthly chart, and this adds on top energy into this chart that has not yet moved a big way. Now let's have a look here on the daily chart. On the daily chart here on the 10th of April, we have triggered another entry signal right after this S2 pattern on a monthly chart. So now we're looking at the daily chart. This adds another amount of energy into this whole chart structure. And what we see here, well, you can guess it's another pattern. This time one time frame lower, the 240-minute chart. And we can see it's a picture perfect S1 pattern that has triggered an entry here, and it is already going off like a rocket, breaking through the stop run levels, and we are currently breaking to a new high. Now if this starts to develop momentum, we will actually trigger all those. We've seen an energy release of all those patterns, and once they break to new highs, these are stop run levels, we should see that copper produces a very big move. We will hear a lot about actually in the news. If you look at it, if you look quickly back at the quarterly chart, we can actually see how there's a lot of catching up and follow through that can happen here, especially if you compare it with other metals like gold and silver. It's starting from this low base, and there's a lot of room to explore here up to the 2025 target. This is our target level up here, $20, $25 for copper. Let's see how that develops. We are excited.